A group of elderly Japanese women sits around a long table, its surface covered with sheets of paper and stacks of pressed flowers. The atmosphere is cheerful, full of friendly banter. An energetic 84-year-old, Machiko, shuffles through the supplies, picking up petals, then carefully arranges them into an artful composition. She likes coming here, to this senior center in one of Tokyo's many suburbs, and does so on a regular basis, with flower arrangement class being one of the top attractions. She says that the hobby and resulting friendships provide her with ikigai, a reason for living. As such, it may be at least in part responsible for Machiko's enviable health and vitality. Ikigai is a word you hear a lot in Japan. People will readily tell you that my children are my ikigai, my work is my ikigai, or volunteering for my neighborhood is my ikigai. The word does not translate easily into English, but roughly it means the reason to be living. The top dictionary in Japan defines ikigai as joy and a sense of well-being from being alive, and realizing the value of being alive. No matter the exact definition, however, many Japanese people believe that a culture of cultivating ikigai is one of the reasons for the population's longevity. With an average Japanese person outliving an average American by over half a decade, there may be some important lessons to be learned here. Research certainly supports the notion that ikigai can boost health and add years to our lives. One particularly large study that followed over 70,000 Japanese people for about 12 years found that those who said they had ikigai had a 26% lower risk of death for men and 33% for women. That's comparable to the effects of following the famed Mediterranean diet. Having ikigai also translates into a lower risk for strokes, and less cardiovascular disease. Although Western scientists find it challenging to study ikigai directly, since the idea is not easily translatable from one culture to the other, a very close concept, that of having a calling or purpose in life, has been well examined in the US and across Europe. And the findings are also very encouraging, health-wise. Searching for ikigai can serve as an antidote to the coronavirus loneliness. People with purpose in life sleep better and have more gray matter in their brain's insula, lower levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, and less of the stress hormone cortisol in their saliva. They even walk faster and have a stronger hand grip, both signs of good health. What's more, finding meaning also lowers the risk for cognitive impairment, even in the face of Alzheimer's disease. If a 90-year-old with a clear purpose in life develops Alzheimer's disease, they are likely to keep functioning relatively well despite very real pathological changes in the brain. The impacts of finding meaning in life, or ikigai, on health and longevity are so pronounced, in fact, that the Japanese Ministry of Health has included ikigai into their health promotion strategy. The Japanese are already experts in finding their reason for living among people over the age of 65, an astounding 88% claim to have found ikigai. Although there are no studies that would directly compare the prevalence of ikigai among different nations, one that came the closest asked people in 10 countries to rate such statements as, "I am doing something useful for my family or for the world," or, "My family or others believe I am able to do something important for them." Japan scored the highest in terms of the percentage of people who answered "very much" to these claims, 27% and 26%, respectively. In the US, those numbers were 11% for the first question and a mere 8% for the second. Certainly, it appears, we all have room for improvement, particularly now when COVID-19 keeps us socially distanced. Loneliness is a real health wrecker. One California study showed that socially isolated people are 2.5 to 3 times more likely to die prematurely than those who are more gregarious. Loneliness raises blood pressure and makes us more susceptible to infections, not helpful in pandemic times. Reconnecting in person often is not an option these days, but one thing that may replace the lost hugs is finding meaning in life. It seems, then, that following the advice of the Japanese and searching for ikigai can serve as an antidote to the coronavirus loneliness, no matter if your ikigai is fighting for a cause you believe in, caring for your family, or simply arranging pressed flowers.